Tough love. Understand your family love you more than anybody else. Your parents decided to give life to you, to start a family and to raise children. They put a roof over your head, food on your table, clothes on your back, and education. They try to provide you with everything they can afford to provide you with. But they understand also they can't save you and fix you and take care of you the rest of your lives. At some stage you have to leave the nest. And if you ever watch a National Geographic program and you see the chick in the nest, the mother bird will push the chick out of the nest. The chick will either fall and die or fall and fly. The mother doesn't do this because they hate the chick. They know the chick has to learn to take its own wings and fly and become independent, or it'll never survive on its own. It's the same in your home. Your mother, your father, they see you stuck in this state of anxiety and depression, and they know there's no hope for you when they're gone. There's no one to take care of you. So they use tough love, and they push you, and they challenge you, and they say all those things you think are horrible things to get you to stand on your own 2 feet. Now your therapist, those in your support group, you think they're the most kind, loving, you wish they were your family, that they care about you the most. But the truth is, they don't care about you the most. The people who care about you the most are the people who are willing to use tough love on you. We're going to tell you to get a life, to pull your socks up, to get out there, to look for a job, look for a boyfriend, look for a girlfriend, to go and join some networking event, do public speaking. All the things that scare you, they need you to embrace those, because when you embrace those, then you become independent. Whatever scares you is what's going to make you. And your parents realize this. They're willing to lose you to save you. My own parents, I remember when they tried to force me with tough love, I called them every name under the sun. I stormed off in a fit of terrible anger. And I remember years later speaking to my father, and he said to me that, do you remember that time when Mum and I tried to use tough love on you, and you called us every name under the sun, and you walked out of the house? Mammy and I went into our bedroom. We lay down in the bed together and we cried in each other's arms, the fact that we'd betrayed you. But we knew as parents we had to push you out. I never saw that. I never saw that part of it. I thought they hated me, that they were pushing me away. But they were actually loving me. They were using tough love trying to save me. And eventually it saved me. It made me take responsibility for who I was and to get into the program and to embrace the fact that I was an alcoholic and a compulsive gambler and all the rest of it and change my ways. And so if you're in a place where you think you've got anxiety disorder or depression disorder, no, it's okay to worry about the future. Every person worries about the future. Why wouldn't you worry about the future? It doesn't mean you have an anxiety disorder. It means that you worry about the future. And then likewise, if you've got something in your past that troubles you, it makes you sad or angry or upset. You don't have a depression disorder or a post-traumatic stress disorder. You are saddened by something that happened in the past. Perfectly reasonable behavior of a normal human being to feel sad or angry about the past. It doesn't mean you have a disorder. You never were mentally ill. The fact that you went to see a mental health professional showed quite clearly that you had clarity of mind to take action and go and see a mental health professional. If you were mentally ill, you would have had to be brought there and probably in a straitjacket to see somebody. But you went of your own accord. Whether you got the bus or you drove or you cycled or you walked there, you made your own way there with clarity of mind. You weren't mentally ill when you went into their office. But 15 minutes in, they told you you had a mental disorder, and you believed that. I know you were clutching at straws, hoping for some solution, but you in 15 minutes allowed a stranger to tell you that you were mentally ill and you had a mental disorder. None of that made sense, but I know you're reaching for straws, hoping to find a solution, so you embrace what they were saying because they must know what they're talking about. And they diagnosed you with a mental disorder when you didn't have a mental disorder. So understand, your parents love you. Tough love is someone pushing you because they love you. They're not getting paid to listen to you bitch and moan. They're not validating your bitching and moaning. They're trying to help you to become independent. So when you have a choice between listening to your therapist asking you how does that make you feel, trying to elicit a negative response so they can medicate you more and therapy you more, on the other side of the coin, your parents are saying, take action, apply for work, get a job, send out a resume. Know that they're the ones that love you, not your therapist. Their therapist is making a living from you. If you couldn't pay your way at your therapist would drop you. Your therapist has to make a living, and you're their living. They make money from treating you, from the medications you take. That's their livelihood. And if you leave, they'll replace you with somebody else. But your parents don't want to replace you. They want you, the whole you. They want you whole and complete, independent. And they will push you with tough love to get over that line. So the next time your parents say to you, get a life or apply for a job, say to them, I don't know how. I would if I could, but I don't know how. Can you give me suggestions or advice? I don't want you to fix or save me, but can you give me suggestions or advice how to do this? And then they tell you, yeah, do this, that, and the other. Or speak to your Uncle John, or speak to your brother Michael. He did that last week. And you copy what Michael did, and you try it, and it works. It may not go very well, but you managed to handle that situation where you took the action. And then you ask somebody else. You ask your best friend, you ask your best friend's parents, your favorite teacher. You start asking people how to do things. Don't do it for me, but you ask them how to do things. And suddenly you don't have an anxiety disorder or depression disorder because you're taking action. Inaction is believing that you have a mental disorder when you had the clarity of mind to go and see a mental health professional, so that doesn't make any sense. Understand that if you're worried about something from the past, you're suffering with a spiritual illness. And if you're worried about the unknown future, you're suffering with an emotional illness. But neither of them are mental illnesses. You do not have a mental illness, you don't have a mental disorder. You have a spiritual illness, a spiritual malady, if you can't get low of the past, can't let go of the past. And you have a emotional malady or emotional illness if you keep jumping into the future. The future may never happen. You may drop dead in 10 minutes' time. All you have is this moment in time. And the past is gone. It's no longer about you. We're told that the past is belonging to our inner child. That's why we're able to separate the past from the present. I am the survivor today. And the child that was 12 years of age in my past and suffered a trauma, he's my inner child. He suffered the trauma, not me. What happened to a 12-year-old child didn't happen to the 65-year-old man today. It's none of my business. And what might happen to a 70-year-old man in 5 years' time is none of my business. My whole life is here in this moment in time. And I'm here on this podcast talking to you here and now. Please God, I'm speaking slowly and clearly, carrying a message of hope. This isn't condemnation. This isn't throwing stones from my glass house. This helps you to realize that the past is none of your business. You have a spiritual sickness, a hole in your soul eating away at you. But when you get rid of that hole in your soul, when you give the past back to your inner child and they take it from you, they'll step into the light. And the feeling you'll get is this sense of freedom, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. In that moment, you know you'll be completely free of the past. It'll never trouble you again. And then you embrace the 12-step program of Trauma Recovery Anonymous to undo the learned dysfunctional behavior of that idea that you had a mental disorder. And you break that up and discard it, where you live fully in the present moment. Your therapist asks you about the past and how it made you feel. You'll say, no, it didn't happen to me. It's none of my business. It doesn't matter how I feel about what happened to my inner child. It happened to them and they've left this plane of existence and they've taken that baggage with them. And I'm free of it. I've no interest in how it makes me feel. I have the memory of what happened to them, but it happened to them. It's not happening to the person I am today. I want to focus on my life in the present. If you can help me do that by setting healthy boundaries and making amends, that's fantastic. And if you can't, move me on to somebody else. But I want to live fully in the present. I'm ignoring the past. I'm ignoring the future. The past is not mine. It happened to my inner child. And the future may never happen. If you can help me to focus and live in the present moment, well, we'll continue this relationship. And if not, I'll go somewhere else. Understand your parents love you. Your family love you. And they've been taught to use tough love to get you to become independent, to push you out of the nest. It sounds scary. It sounds like they don't love you. But they love you. They're showing you agape love, the greatest love there is. The Bible tells us the greatest love on this earth is agape love, when you're willing to sacrifice yourself for the person you love. Your parents are willing to sacrifice a relationship with you to push you out of the nest, to make you independent. They love you more than your therapist or anybody else. All your buddies on social media who say, I feel the same way you do, that's not supporting you. That's keeping you broken. Your therapist keep asking you how you feel. That's not about you getting well. That's about keeping you broken, trying to elicit a negative response so they can medicate you more. The only people who love you unconditionally are your parents and your family, and they're using tough love to make you independent. So next time your parents use tough love on you, stop and say, what do you mean by that? How can I do that? I don't know how. Please tell me how to do that. And then they tell you how to do that, and you do it. And if it works, well and good. And if it didn't, go back and say, that didn't work. Have you any other suggestions? And they tell you some other suggestion. And eventually you start finding tools and coping skills that work, that are healthy and loving and empathetic, and you become loving yourself. And you meet other people on your support group and they ask what happened, and you use tough love on them. And it's not about you fixing or saving them. It's about using tough love on them, making them treat themselves. Even this program I teach people how to heal, but I'm not here to fix you. It's a kind of tough love. I give you the tools and you're meant to heal yourself, not for me to heal you. I'm not your parent. I'm not your therapist. I want you to stand on your own 2 feet. So this program is very simple. It's called the Trauma Recovery Anonymous. It's made up of 2 parts. The first part, healing any past trauma memory. You treat the past trauma and you release it from your body mentally, physically, emotionally and spiritually. And then you complete the 12-step program of Trauma Recovery Anonymous to undo the learned dysfunctional behaviours of that mental disorder misdiagnosis. And then you're free to live your life. You don't be in therapy for me the rest of your days. You live your life and you have this wonderful life in the present, and you focus solely on the present moment. And even in these 24 hours, break it down to this 1 hour now. So here in Thailand it's 12:14. So my hour's life is from 12 noon to 1 p.m. That's my whole life. I'm not worried about 101 or 102. I'm not worried about 11:58. My whole hour is from 12 to 1 right now. This is my whole life. What can I do in this lifetime, in this 1 hour today? I can finish this podcast to you. I can ask you all to please share this with anybody you might know. There are 1 billion men in the world and women in the world today who've been misdiagnosed with mental disorders when they had a spiritual illness, when they had a soul sickness, and they need to be treating the soul. And there's 400 million children who've been told that their feelings and emotions are mental disorders when they're not. They're actually their God-given instincts. We need to reach all these people. And so I'd ask you to share this with anyone you have on your community, in your support group, with your therapist if they'll listen, or just all your contacts and ask them to share with theirs. You have an opportunity today of carrying a message of profound hope to adults and children around the world, to let them know that how they think and how they feel are not mental disorders. They're their God-given instincts, that in danger you feel something and that tells you to run away or hide or to take action. It's not a mental disorder to protect yourself, to defend yourself. This is the solution that will set you free. Understand you are not mentally ill. You do not have a mental disorder. Understand your parents' tough love for you is way, way better than a therapist asking you how that makes you feel. Your parents love you unconditionally. They're not getting paid to listen to you. They want you to become independent. Be willing to trust and listen to your parents. Thank you.